So a friend told me that James White has lately been claiming that Israel's sacrificial system indicates limited atonement, because offerings were only made for Israel and not for the nations. I must say this is a very, very strange claim. First, Gentiles were permitted and encouraged to bring offerings to the tabernacle and to the temple. The court of the Gentiles that developed in the late Second Temple period is an innovation, and it's one that was displeasing to God. Israel's calling was to be a priest to the nations. Second, every year at the Feast of Tabernacles or ingathering, 70 bulls were offered for the 70 nations of the world. Zechariah 14 confirms this understanding by presenting the Feast of Tabernacles as the context for the ingathering and conversion of the nations. The Talmud similarly understands the 70 bulls as matching the 70 nations. Third, Gentiles themselves, except perhaps in the land of Israel, when there was a central sanctuary, were not bound by the commandment to only offer sacrificial worship at the temple. The Bible does not deal with the commandments that God gave to the Gentiles under the Noachic covenant, but it's easily discernible that there were such commandments. Globally, all nations offered sacrifices. We know this historically. Some of these nations persisted in faithful worship and offered sacrifices to the one Creator God. Are we to say that their worship of the Creator is something that they accidentally stumbled upon? Or perhaps were they adhering to an ancient tradition passed down from the Noachic covenant? The latter seems to me infinitely more likely, especially given the similarities of their ascension offerings and tribute offerings to Israel's offerings of the same name in Leviticus 1 and 2. For more on the subject of original monotheism among the Gentiles, I highly recommend Winfried Corduan's work, In the Beginning God, The Case for Original Monotheism, or for a more in-depth but somewhat archaic look, check out Wilhelm Schmidt's translated works on this subject.